So, Fat Man?
So, Canadian Sleazy?
Hey, man, Sleazy was here at the start of this episode.
I know, right? I have no clue where the hell Sleazy is. I mean, I see him, but I don't know what the fuck's going on.
I don't know what happened there either. But cool, we're live.
Well, I'll finish the opening part of the segment since Sleazy's lazy. We are going to talk about Impact's Victory Road with a surprising scorecard twist.
And I guess you can find all that on the wrestling show. Welcome, everyone. This is Sleazy.
This is the Fat Man.
Welcome, everyone, to another wonderful episode. I mean, we've been off the air technically for almost 2 weeks. Last week we did, obviously, our recording of All Out. But tonight, we're not talking about AEW.
We ain't talking about practice.
What's that?
Practice?
We're talking about practice.
We're talking about practice.
We ain't talking about WWE. We sure as hell ain't talking about Ring of Honor. We are tonight talking about Impact Victory Road. But first, I must introduce the gentleman that is King Impact. Ryan Williams is here with us tonight.
Hi, Al. So,
Nice.
Before we even get into it, I'm just getting this out of the way because it pisses me off. For the scorecard, for the first time ever, we've had a co-winner. Both Sleazy and Deep finished with 89 points, I want to say.
It was 89 points.
And then I finished 6 points behind them. So, it's the first time we've ever had a tie. It is, you and Dietz are still with 9 victories apiece, but Dietz is still ahead of you in third because he's a Grand Slam piece of shit champion.
What am I missing for Grand Slam?
New
Japan and Ring of Honor.
Okay.
For as many time, but like I said, for as many New Japan shows, that's all Fat Man's winning if he ever jumps back in with us. Or that's all Fat Man's missing for his Grand Slam.
Like I said, Wrestle Kingdom. I'll do Wrestle Kingdom, win it, and then never do it again.
Can you imagine?
I'll be so pissed.
You should only do New Japan shows now just till you get the Grand Slam.
Not watch them, just do them. And then...
I mean, I'm doing indie shows that I never watched.
They are half the fun because you look at the names, you're like, what the fuck is going on here? Who is this guy?
Maybe I see one name I recognize. Maybe. And most of the time, I don't recognize any of them.
Main event's like Kazerny. It's like, where the fuck did you come from?
Sin Bodai back in the main event in Las Vegas. But, so yeah, Victory Road. We're talking Impact tonight because there's a couple of Impact marks on here. But I watched the show too. Uh-huh. I #watched the product. I actually watched not just that, but also Impact 1000, which I'm not even sure everyone here watched.
Well, you watched half of Impact 1000.
Yeah,
fair.
So I did not watch it. I plan on watching it tomorrow. I've been running around like chicken with my head cut off, so I will watch it tomorrow. But I did read what happened, but I plan on watching it tomorrow.
Well, it was a big taping, 2 weeks tapings. And last week's episode was they told everybody there's going to be an overrun.
Yeah. So I'm excited no matter what, because next week is my
1001.
Well, yeah, true, but I mean just the card.
Hashtag Gail Kim.
Yeah. Gail Kim, Awesome Kong, happiness. Just happiness. That's all I've got to say.
Ooh, cheerleader Melissa was there. Well,
yeah, she was.
Risa Shaheed, but yeah.
How do you be more Asian or Middle Eastern? You roll your R's.
I was going to say fuck Sleazy, but I guess that's
also true.
Yeah.
So are we getting on the road with this?
Yes.
Do we have... I assume we don't have Meltzer because Meltzer doesn't watch Impact.
I have Christian Thompson from TGR Wrestling, as always.
Oh, okay. The only other one other than the three of us that watches Impact.
Oh, wait, do we have more fans than Impact?
Oh, we might.
So
Good, fuck them idiots. Leave Impact for us.
I did watch the pre-show. I can't remember what was on the pre-show.
I accidentally watched the pre-show.
Okay.
Jake
Ryan, go ahead.
Stokely, Rich Swann, and Sammy Callahan defeated
That's
Dirty
right.
Django and the Design, 4 minutes and 48 seconds. Alan Angels, and I caught this part because I was watching it. Alan Angels defeated Guido Mariano, or however the fuck you pronounce
Little Guido.
Little Guido, 5 minutes, 26 seconds. And ABC defeated the Most Professional Wrestling Gods, which I love their fucking tag name, by the way, of Brian Myers and Moose.
iPhone.
Thank you. And that match went 8 minutes and 49 seconds.
A question for everyone here, especially because Chip's not here. Doesn't Alan Angels look like Chip if he had more of a meth addict?
More.
You mean Alan
Alan
Angels
Angels
was more than a meth addict?
You're right.
I didn't realize Tank Abbott was a meth addict.
Right?
Now, you're
I'm
not a
getting
meth-
no
you're
laughs
not-
today
but you're
already.
Not a meth addict. Not at all. Oh, is Chip now the man of 1,000 meths?
I think that works. I'm gonna every week that he's not on, I'm gonna make a random, ridiculous thing about him, and then bring it up next week when he comes on the show and have no context.
So we got to get this straight here. Now, do we have to bring up everything, or just a week before?
Just the week before.
It'd be impressive if we could bring up everything.
I think we should bring up everything.
I'll try.
You should be like the man of 1,000 meths, the Tank Abbott, just everything right in the corner.
Just keep going.
You would
It's
not
like this-
know. Yep, just. Yep.
In an opening, he's still looking up on the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man of 1,000 mouths, Mr. Tank Abbott, 3MB's lost long partner. Or just keep going. This could be a long intro for everyone.
Show opened up with the X Division Championship. Sleazy's favorite wrestler, Leo Rush, defends against Kushida. 10 minutes and 9 seconds. Christian Thompson gave this 3 stars. Sleazy, you love Asians and Leo Rush.
I think half of that statement's incorrect.
Yeah, right?
That's right. He loves Leo Rush.
He loves
Sorry.
To death.
To death. Oh, if only.
Listen, if you watched night one of Impact 1,000, you're quite happy with what happened with Leo Rush. So
I am. I will get to that later, I'm sure. Fuck me. The man's so fucking talented. This match was beautiful. The opening sequence with Leo escaping by going up to the top rope and doing kind of weird, like almost MMA-esque, like, or not MMA, like jiu-jitsu-esque, like moment there. That was really fucking good. They were, I can't believe I'm saying 4 stars. It was just great.
it was a great opener.
It was a great fucking opener. And pisses me off so much.
What? Because Leo Rush did so well?
Yes!
Man, fuck you.
Fuck
So
him!
I want to get this straight here. You guys bash me on the All Out or All In, All Out, whatever the fuck one it was.
We'll pick
for
one.
hating
We probably bashed on both of
AEW,
them.
for hating AEW being an Impact mark.
Mm-hmm.
This was an okay match for a house show.
Wow, you underrated piece of shit.
It was a slower paced
Same.
match than
What?
I thought it would be.
What
Yes.
the fuck are you talking about? Did you not watch the match at all?
All it was Kushida going for the hoverboard lock. That was literally the match.
Oh,
they
so
did
you
a-
watched the Kushida match before.
it did its job to making Rush look like a shitbag heel because he's a shitbag and he just happens to be playing a heel. So it did its job. I just thought the match was kind of just there.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
We're a star and a half away from each other?
And you're the one that don't like Leo Rush.
Right.
It's the Asian bias, is what Sleazy says.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
So it was 5 stars if Kushida won?
Yep, 100%.
I think you're fucking nuts. I think it was a great little opener. And I don't know. I guess I'm in the minority. I really do enjoy Leo Rush. I enjoyed him when he was a mouthpiece with Bobby Lashley. I enjoyed his, I was going to say X Division run. His Cruiserweight title run in NXT. Like, Leo Rush is good. Leo Rush is what Enzo Amore should have been.
Black?
Yeah.
What black?
No, black.
Just black. No, because Leo Rush has the mic skills. Leo Rush has the wrestling skills. Enzo, like how Baron Corbin, WWE had Baron Corbin, then they got Damian Priest, and they went, we don't need Baron Corbin no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I see the interchangeable between Leo Rush and Enzo Amore, outside of one knows their parents.
Wow.
What the fuck?
Yo, dog, I heard you like tag team matches.
I do.
MK Knockouts Tag Team Championship. MK Ultra defends against Giselle Shaw and Savannah Evans. 8 minutes, 12 seconds. Christian Thompson gave this an okay match for a house show. Ryan.
I was on the fence about Killer Kelly and Masha Slamovich when they started teaming up beforehand and like they had their matches against each other, because I was like, okay, like I like them both separately, but they've come to grow on me. I thought that there was going to be a title change. Now that was during the taping when I saw what match had happened, but I'm glad MK Ultra kept the belts here because I think they're going to do some good vibes is going to come to the Knockouts Tag Teams division because there's the women there. And that's a lot of things. Like a lot of people that don't watch Impact. There's a great fucking women's roster in Impact. Mm-hmm. More people sleep on Impact, and we say it all the time because we're fucking Impact marks, but you're sleeping on Impact if you're not watching. I was talking to my buddy Shannon there a little while ago. He misses the old Impact, and he doesn't really know about the new Impact. It was like, you got to start watching. You're going to see good matches. You're going to see storylines. These are people. It's like a Land of Misfit Toys if the Misfit Toys are from Macy's. You know what I mean? They're a bit more polished. They don't need to go as many gimmicks as what ECW.
Yeah, and I think here's the reality of this, and we've talked about this multiple times on the show, is that Impact is the worst kept secret in professional wrestling right now, or the best kept secret in professional wrestling right now. It's got everything to run on all cylinders. The only problem is that it doesn't have enough of an outlet, really.
Correct.
Which is unfortunate.
Well, talk about the match while you're at it.
So fun fact.
Okay, hold on. Sleazy, you're the women's wrestling enthusiast.
Thank you. So fun fact, Giselle Shaw is Filipino. And she was actually born an hour away from my wife. Wow. I thought that was cool. And she actually grew up in Toledo City in Cebu in the Philippines. So I thought that was a really cool fact. That is the biggest, coolest thing I can tell about the match. The match was not great. I gave it a 1.5. I felt like the babyface and peril spots were just tired. Masha is decent. In the ring, there's a lot of good talent here that's brewing. Like Giselle's still, she's only 7-8 years in the ring, trained by Lance Storm, but you never know it with some of the stuff that she does. I'm glad.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
She's transitioned longer than she's been training in the ring.
Yeah, which is very interesting if you think about it. But I think that I want to see where they go with the division as a whole because, and I'm going to bring it up later, is that Masha and Killer Kelly is more of an archetype in the division than there used to be, and it's kind of the 10 women tag match is a great example to that statement. You know, so there's a little bit of a difference of what's coming up here. So I'll be interested to see where they start pairing off again. with different people, with different women inside the Impact roster, especially in the tag division here. So, but yeah.
9 words in my notes. It was an okay match for a house show.
Fucking dickhead.
I mean, it was there.
You overrating piece of shit.
Now, okay, so I brought it up just because I was curious. Listen to the roster for the Knockouts division. Alicia Edwards, Deanna Peraza, Giselle Shaw, Jessica, Jody Threat, Jordan Grace, Killer Kelly, Colleen King, Masha Slamovich, Mickey James, Rosemary, also as Courtney Rush, Savannah Evans, Tasha Steeles, Taylor Wall, Trinity, and Sue Young is injured. That's a fucking stacked little roster.
It is.
It is.
It really is.
Crazy Steve versus Black Taurus.
No.
Taurus.
No.
Taurus.
No.
Your face.
Crazy Steve versus Son of Mantar.
Son of Mantar.
Crazy Steve versus Sleazy? 9 minutes and 4 seconds. Christian Thompson, he gave it 3 stars for the 3rd match in a row.
Holy fuck, dude.
It was an okay match for a house show.
Were you bitter when you watched this or something? Like,
so it did his job to further the Crazy Steve storyline, which I absolutely love. I love it. Great character work from him. The match to me was just there. It was there, and to do its job, it did its job.
I love how you're like, every match on this card did his job. Did his job. Supposed to do. Meh.
Didn't say meh. It was an okay match. It wasn't meh. Okay's better than meh.
What's meh? 2 stars.
Meh. 4 stars, bro. Come on.
2 4 stars.
No, that's my man.
Yeah, dickhead.
All right, Sleazy, go ahead. Oh shit, I got right to your story.
Actually, I agree with you. 2.5 stars. Okay match for a house show. I thought the finish was dumb. You know, come on. We're gonna fight.
The dumb finish that Ryan hates when I say it.
I absolutely hate it. At least give me some context to it instead of just saying it's dumb.
Okay, we're gonna fight over a fork and then. Okay, well, fuck that fork. You know, we're just gonna take the DDT and call it a day. It's like they had to rush through the last 2 minutes of the match. Maybe that's what happened, but it just felt kind of like, I wasn't a fan of it. But yeah, there's a lot of minor cool spots. The backbreaker from the torture rack thing was fucking great, but to do that and then immediately basically do the whole no cell thing right afterwards. Oh, I've been killed. Oh, please don't hurt me. Please don't hurt me. And then he walks off and then, yeah, I'm fine after that fucking gross ass backbreaker.
Crazy Steve and African American Bull had a good little match. I don't know why you're.
You just wanted to get that in, and I love you for it.
I did, yeah. Listen, I had conversations with my black box screenshot sent to me, okay? You know. And, like, I think it's made it worse for me because, like, he's dropped some doozies on me, too, and I'm just like, that's really good.
Career versus title for the Digital Media Championship. Kenny King defends against Tommy Dreamer. 12 minutes, 14 seconds. Christian Thompson gave this 2 stars. Ryan.
Ron Kid Dog. Absolutely Ron Kid Dog. Kenny King was doing great with that belt. I like Kenny King, too. I watched this match. I've known Tommy Dreamer for a few years now, and I've had the pleasure of sharing locker rooms with this man. He's always good, always very helpful, like easy to approach, watching the stuff. But that was like fucking 10 years ago, and he was slow then. And it was just methodical of the style, you'd call it, working smart. He's still working smart now, but it's clear that his days are limited. They're coming. They're really, really coming. Unless he wants to do the Terry Funk thing, which is highly possible he'll wrestle like Terry Funk. But, like, Dreamer's best days are well behind him now. And it showed in this match for me. But the nostalgia of it was cool. But cool tights, cool shirt. Little shout out. There's your thing to Funk. He probably should lose that belt back to Kenny King right away. Don't hold it for very long. But that's just my opinion.
This match was way better than I thought it would be. I gave
2.17 stars.
no, I gave it 3 stars. Like I thought it was a good match.
So you thought this match was better than the other 3 matches up to this point? Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
I just wanted to make that clear for our multitude of fan that's listening out there now that he's rating this match, Dreamer versus Kenny King, higher than the
Best
opening
match
match.
that happened on September 8th between 8:30 and 8:37. I don't know what time it was down the States for you. So just get at the time.
No, I agree with Ryan. The wrong kid died. I was not expecting it. It was in his quote hometown. His family was there. Blah blah. This was made for him to lose, and they got to swerve him, brah. So I don't know, but I was entertained by this match. I thought it was way better than I expected it to be. So, all right, Sleazy, go ahead and shit on it.
I mean,
don't fucking listen to him just because he said shit on it.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm gonna. So I had live notes. Because I've gotten used to doing live notes now for some strange reason. Funk tribute, nice. God, Dreamer looks fucking gassed. Missed the figure 4 roll up spot. Holy shit, dude. Having Heath help him win worked with the story, but my God, maybe Kenny should have rolled him up instead.
No, well, that's not the first time Heath's after trying to screw over Kenny King. So
That's true. It makes sense with the story, but maybe Kenny should have just, went into business for himself and just rolled him up instead.
Wow.
I'm telling you, this match was. I'm not saying it wasn't bad, but it was. I think you hit the nail.
That's what you're saying. Slow.
You hit the nail right on the head. He's 57 years old at this point. Let him go out on his own terms, I guess. But God damn, does he need another title run before he does it? Okay, whatever.
No, but.
So. Okay, match for a house show.
Speaking of which, before you continue, because you said about Dreamer's age, I saw a picture on Facebook. The Rock's age currently is 51 years old, right? To compare that to other wrestlers, the tweet was, The Rock's the same age now that Bruno Sammartino was when he came back to help his son David. Same age Hulk Hogan was when he was Mr. America. Same age Ric Flair was when he was pretending to have a heart attack in WCW. Same age HBK was for his Saudi Arabia match. And the same age Harley Race was when he was managing Vader. Okay. Rock is probably at 51. The whole point is Rock at 51 could probably still outwork all of those guys at 51. And looks like a fucking $1 million.
On the other side of that, I will show this.
Oh, God.
Earthquake. Right there. That picture right there was taken in 1991, I think it was.
93.
Or 93, excuse me.
Well, wait, is he face or heel?
Definitely he's got to be a face there because he's facing
face
Yokozuna.
against Yoko. So, 93. How old was Earthquake?
25.
In 19... Yeah, well, he's 27.
Oh, I guess.
But look at him. God damn it. He looks older than The Rock does now. But yeah, it's like...
well, I suppose he's in the ground how long?
Wow.
He's been... Well, true. Fair. He died... What, 2 years after my father did?
I'm not sure.
The same cancer.
It just left the one body and went to the other, did it?
It might have, yeah.
Like particles?
2006, so it was 6 years after my father.
That's some hard-to-duty cancer the last 6 years in the earth like that.
Right. But yeah, the point being is that you're never sure whose age is what, especially on the WWE roster. You take a look at some of the guys on the WWE roster, like LA Knight's what?
39.
You're coming up from 40. Asuka's 42.
You had to get that in, didn't you?
No, just the people that I'm thinking they're over 40 on the roster right now.
AJ Styles.
AJ Styles is a big one. You know,
Okay.
it's crazy because you 20 years ago, if you were over 30, you were done. You were absolutely done. So.
Tommy Dreamer's 57, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The next two competitors' age is less than Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah.
Combined,
yeah.
Deonna Purrazzo versus Jordan Grace, 11 minutes and 48 seconds. Christian Thompson gave this 4 stars. Sleazy, the woman's wrestling enthusiast.
I have a new phrase. You know the old phrase that Biggie coined? Big meaty men slapping meat.
Big taco women slapping tacos.
2 badass bitches slapping boobies.
I like the taco one better.
I think I was working with the alliteration. I thought the alliteration.
2 titillizing tacos tainting taints.
I think it goes too far.
Totally.
What else is new? Love this match. Fucking mwah. 4 1/4. I thought it was really well done. It was a great way to bring Jordan Grace back. And kind of
finally getting her win back.
Yeah, vanquishing the demon, so to speak, of not being able to beat Purrazzo. It wasn't for a title, so they could do it without a problem. And yeah, just fucking beautiful. And this once again kind of goes to back to my theory originally, is that you're seeing the knockouts division be more of a, I don't want to say hard hitting, but like definitely a more beefier, aggressive type of wrestler in the division. You know, you're not seeing Angelina Love and Velvet Sky in there as much.
Fuck, will they just have an OnlyFans already?
Right? Or like Alicia Edwards. You know, you have like that scrappy underdog who's now a heel.
Alicia Edwards is not a scrappy underdog. Watch
she was when she started.
She is a cunt.
We're live, Ryan.
You fuck.
I don't care. That was the perfect description for her. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
Because we're going to beep out the word, that's fine. I understand that you're mad at that. But I'm not wrong with the description of this ant.
Wow. The point being is that the division's kind of skewing towards more muscular women, which makes some of these matches be more hard hitting because of it. And it's a different style than what you're used to in most other divisions. You know, a lot of times you're seeing a lot of these matches be pretty similar in like most of them are cruiserweights versus cruiserweights. Every once in a while you'll see, you know, a Nia Jax-esque type person. I know I had to bring that up, but whatever. But now you're seeing more of like bruisers, brawlers type of people getting involved in the Impact side of things. And I'm excited to see where the division goes from there because of it. So.
4 stars, great match as expected. Jordan Grace got her win back, and this was as predictable as the Bucks beating the Bears today. Ryan.
Jordan Grace looked like she lost some size on the same, but everything else is right. The right kid died. She finally got a win back, which is great.
Anything goes. Bully Ray versus PCO, 9 minutes 46 seconds. Christian Thompson gave this 3 stars. It was just a ton of table spots that were the same, and the table that broke at the end is not their fault. It happened. They had to try to go through it. The Mike Sanders was above average.
I hate star rate, like quarter star ratings and shit like that, but I just pop for it because it's the Mike Sanders. I do. That's why I tried to make the Mike Sanders 3, so I liked it more. But I get why it's 2.75. It's the only point that I agree with, only because it's called the Mike Sanders.
Yeah. Ryan.
PCO will never die. And I don't know why they keep trying to kill him. It's like Kenny from South Park, and it's just getting more and more entertaining when people try to do it. Bully Ray trying to kill him this entire pay-per-view again, thinking it was going to work after setting him on fire and continuously not working, made it for me. Because, like, I get the WWE be a star or whatever the fuck they're calling it now, and that's why Bully Ray, more or less, Bully Ray's not in WWE, the Bully Ray character, because of that shit. Because, like, Bully Ray's so good. Like Bubba Ray was good, Bully Ray's so fucking good on his own. And, like, him trying to leave, and, like, Santino and all the security are standing up there, be like, "Nay, sir, you're getting your shit kicking here today." And then here comes PCO. I think the career resurgence, or however the fuck that sounds better in America. That's the word. It's gone so well, and it can all be traced back to the Ring of Honor title that he won.
Mm-hmm.
He went with Villain Enterprises and was doing that little slow upswing, and then he won the Ring of Honor fucking title, and it was like, where the fuck did this guy come from? Because then the connection with the Ring of Honor with Honor No More when they got in there. Yeah, PCO can do no wrong to me, man. Fucking go. He's going to die in the ring. I would love to see PCO versus Darby Allin.
Oh.
Who dies first?
Darby, obviously.
Well, yeah.
Darby dies because Darby can die. PCO
Yeah, I mean, okay. So first line in my notes: PCO wrestles like he wants to be forced into retirement via death. Normal hardcore match, normal PCO spots, a lot of table spots. Bully Ray went to 3D Academy for putting tables in the ring.
I'll give that a golf clap.
Thank you.
I will not, because I'm a dick.
Intentional of him rolling after getting Cobra was unintentionally funny, I think. If it was meant to be funny, great, but I'm not sure if it was meant to be funny. How do you pin a guy on top of a ladder?
Yes, I just did a question mark.
Yeah, whatever. How do
His shoulders are on the ladder. I was waiting. I was trying to justify it in my head. His shoulders are on the ladder. Big Show pinned the guy for the hardcore title against a wall. Like,
yeah, but you're pinning him to a
ladder won the heavy iron metalweight championship.
First of all, multiple times.
A crowd won it and then lost it in the same show within 5 minutes. So, like, okay, it's professional wrestler. That man's shoulders are on the ladder.
Fair, okay. PCO jacking off Bully Ray with a grater was absolutely hilarious. I am the table. And of course, because it was the finish, they had to improvise another finish. You're right. Shit happens. Maybe if they pulled out the table a little bit more when PCO did the setting, it might have broke, but whatever. So if I look at the match on its own, the actual match, it was 2 stars. But I liked how they built it up to this point. So the actual entire thing, I give 3 stars. Okay? Because I do love the fire spots. I did love the bits and pieces that happened during the in-betweens of the other matches.
Yo, dog, I heard you like tag team matches.
I love them so fucking much. The psychology is so good. When the tag match is on, it's on. Even when it's bad, there's still a good psychology.
It's like sex.
Impact Tag Team Championship. The Rascals defend against Motor City Machine Guns. 13 minutes and 51 seconds. Christian Thompson gave this 3.5. Ryan!
Every time going up until this point of the match, I remember thinking, strange Alex Shelley isn't defending the world title tonight. And then be like, the tag titles. I was like, all right, that's why. But it's shocking that more than once I was like, strange Alex Shelley's not defending the world title tonight. It happened during this match. I was just like, man, he's in a tag match for the world champion. Like,
I went too, because I was 95% sure he was going to turn on Saban.
No. Well,
Like
spoilers abound, and since this episode comes out after the second part of the Impact 1000, the 2 shots, Chris Sabin wins the X Division title.
Yep.
And it's option C season. Where do you think it's going?
Yeah.
That's why the heel turn didn't happen. Hindsight being 50-50, that's why they I would assume, didn't pull the trigger on the heel turn here.
Okay.
Because next night, Sabin winning it.
That's why I thought he was in this match. I was just like, or now we know to put him on the card. So,
oh shit! What are we doing with our world champ? Them stoner kids. One of them that likes Hitler. They're at nothing. Give them.
Wow.
I mean, you're not wrong.
You're not.
I love how you laughed that out. Then you were like,
3 1/4. Good match, but I'd call it disappointing. I thought they could have had a better match. That's just me. They still again did his job. There was no way Jay Briscoe was losing the ROH World title. There's just no way Alex Shelley was going to get pinned in this match. Sabin taking the loss again doesn't hurt him. So, and the Rascals are the Rascals. And the Rascals are the Rascals. So, yeah, it was a good match.
Did you and I watch the same show? I'm just wondering.
I don't think so about the star rating differences.
4.5. I love this.
What the fuck was it missing?
Well, I will tell you exactly what it was missing. Everything was so crisp, beautiful. It's the legendary Motor City Machine Guns versus a great tag team that loves Hitler. In the Rascals.
Well, one of them loves Hitler.
Well, one of them does, yes.
The other one's kind of black, so like I don't think he liked Hitler.
My literally only complaint about the match was they used they did the whole I'm going to bring the title belt into play twice. It's bad enough that it happened once. It happened twice during the match, and the finish didn't even involve it. It ended up being a spray can shot instead. But 4.5. Here's my other complaint. Why wasn't this the main event?
Watch the product?
No, absolutely not. 100%. This should have main evented. And the only reason why it didn't, is because the Rascals won. They wanted to send the crowd home happy.
They would have had Tommy Dreamer main evented then.
That would have worked too.
Yeah, you're wrong on that.
They could have had Trinity the match main evented.
Mm-hmm. That was terrible.
But this is what I mean. Like, if that's your reasoning behind it, there's a bunch of faces that won that could have been a main event.
Right, but this was the best match on the card. This had the most, from a absolute title perspective, this should have main evented. It's the top tag team versus your world champion and a legendary tag team.
I agree with that description of why you think it should have main evented. I give validation to that, yeah.
I'm saying that the reason why it didn't main event was because the heels won. And they wanted to send the crowd home happy. So they chose a different match to main event instead. That's why I'm bringing that part up.
If the heel turn like Fat Man thinks would have happened happens, then
it's also main eventing.
Yeah, then definitely the tag match should have main evented.
I will agree with that part if the heel turn happened. But yeah,
the women's match should have main evented. They've had a decent amount of story.
Mm-hmm.
I understand why Josh Alexander and Steve Macklin main evented because it was your world title match 6 months ago.
Knockouts Championship. Trinity defends against Alicia Edwards. 8 minutes and 58 seconds. Christian Thompson gave this 3 stars. Sleazy, you're the women's wrestling enthusiast.
Okay, match for a house show. I really have nothing to say with it. It was there. I can't read it, but
white piece of paper with lines on it. Oh yes.
Okay, match for a house show. Literally is my only notes.
No, there you go. So at least we agree on something today.
I said a couple episodes ago that Trinity coming to Impact was going to be good for him. We read out the roster earlier. The roster is great. I didn't expect as good of a match out of Alicia as what this was. To me, it seemed anyways. So I think this is going to be beneficial for all the Impact roster that I think they're going to get good matches out of Trinity, and Trinity's going to get good matches out of them. Obviously, she wasn't beating her for the fucking title. Jordan Grace, Deonna Purrazzo, one of them are taking that belt off of Trinity before Trinity goes back to WWE. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this match more than I thought it was going to.
The real main event, the match that should have ended.
Oh,
Which
do
did.
you
Look
even
at
know how
that.
to talk about the match? Are you just gonna leave it and it's okay for?
Yeah. He already said it. I started with him.
I literally said the same thing, so I can't say much.
Josh Alexander versus Steve Macklin, 18 minutes, 45 seconds. Christian Thompson gave this 4 1/4. Sleazy.
I want to start with you.
With me?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. King of the 4-star match, Josh Alexander.
First off, thank you.
My bad. I'm sorry.
Learn your shit.
This match was fucking awesome.
Sure.
I don't know what he's smoking about saying the tag title match was the best match of the night. It was not. This match was awesome. Great ring psychology. It felt real. It felt like they were really in a fight. Right Kid died.
No.
I only say Right Kid died, even though I think Macklin needed the win. I thought they were going with a losing streak with Alexander because he's been losing in tag matches. But I think the Right Kid died because I think they're going to try to push him to another world title run. Ryan, you're going to ask me what it's missing, right?
Really? What is it missing?
Nothing. 5 stars. It was not. I'm going to pull like what Sleazy did with MJF and Adam Cole. It maybe not been your typical 5-star match, but the psychology was there. The story was there. It felt real. This match was awesome. Absolutely. I enjoyed this match thoroughly. 100%. Absolute great fucking match. Great way to end the show. I did not like, because they were definitely crunching for time. They're like, 1, 2, 3. Josh Alexander wins. Yay, bye. Show goes off the air.
Yeah.
So couldn't let it really soak in a little bit, but. All right, Sleazy.
3 3/4.
Isn't that okay? Hold on. Go ahead. Never mind. Go ahead.
I have to say 3 3/4 because it's Josh Alexander, the king of the 4-star match.
Oh, God damn it.
Right? That's
See, this like Fat Man's overrating it and you're underrating it.
No, I give it.
Wait, I'm overrating it? You what?
Legitimately, it's a 4-star match. However, I will say this. I don't know what you're talking about, that it was not perfection or that it was perfection, because it wasn't. God, no. There were multiple times there were mistimes in the match. The big one that was most glaring to me was Alexander missing the Iggy to do the Kurt Angle spot where he's in where he has the ankle lock in, and Macklin does the roll to send him into the corner, but Alexander doesn't time it right. He completely biffs it and goes,
and I've watched you give 5-star matches less ratings for shit like that.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you that there was other things than that. But that was the most glaring.
I was yelling at Fat Man for that one.
What's that?
I was yelling at Fat Man.
Oh, okay.
Wait, what? Say that again?
You're calling this a 5-star match with that clear box.
Didn't I say it wasn't your typical 5-star match?
Because he just wants to rate a 5-star match.
I did say it was not your
Alexander a 5-star match. That's all.
That's really not it. It was mostly, you want to look at a master class in story and psychology. This was it. No, don't give me that look. This was it. Alexander sold that fucking elbow, and it wasn't like he was like, oh, I'm going to sell my elbow and then fucking do 1,000 strikes with the elbow. When he hit him, he sold it. When he did an offensive move, he sold it. When he did the ankle lock, he sold it. He sold it 100% throughout this whole match. Every move he did, he sold it. It was a masterclass in selling. Like I said, it felt real. It felt like they were really fucking fighting each other. Yes, the botch does hurt it a little bit, but one botch.
It's not one botch, though. There were multiple smaller instances of issues in the match, missed times and whatnot, but that was the biggest one. That's the one I have in my notes.
Okay. Ryan.
Oh, I love the match. Don't get me wrong. You know me, I'm a big fan of Josh Alexander. I'm a big fan of Steve Macklin. I wouldn't call it a 5-star match. It was a really, really fucking good match. But I think we were kind of spoiled over the past couple of weekends where we just saw a lot of really good matches and a few 5-star matches. And I don't think this, to me, I don't think this holds up against Brian Starks. I think it's on the same level, maybe, of Omega and Takeshita, but I didn't think Takeshita Omega was a 5-star match either.
That's another thing.
Really good match.
I want to bring something else into play here. Fat Man did not rate a single one of those 5 stars, but he rates this 5 stars because he's a goddamn mark that doesn't know how to rate matches.
Says the guy who overrated everything during AEW.
I've got a lot more people that agree with me than you.
Doesn't matter. They're all wrong too.
Like
Dave Meltzer!
So for instance, if one person calls you an asshole,
I am an asshole.
Then maybe you're not, an asshole. Maybe that guy's an asshole. 2 people start calling you an asshole.
I'm an asshole.
Yeah, you might be an asshole. If 3 people start calling you an asshole, you better start praying.
Well, it depends on who's calling me an asshole.
Does it?
It does, actually. If Dave Meltzer's calling me, yes, it does.
If there's enough people there calling you an asshole, guess what?
No, it would depend. Because those people may not like me to begin with.
People said some shit about Michael Jackson that we don't know if it's true or not. Does that mean it's true?
No.
So,
but enough people say it. People kind of get a little bit curious about it.
So when Dave Meltzer overrates a match 5 stars and people get curious about it, it's not my fault. Again, this is also
I think we've completely off the rails.
You started it. Like I said, this wasn't your typical 5-star match. It had its issues, but the reason I'm giving it 5 stars because the psychology and
I get why you're doing it.
And it felt real. I felt like they were really fighting. Is that what you want out of a professional wrestling match?
Ricky Starks and Daniel Bryan, and you wouldn't give that 5 stars. They were really fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well.
Omega and Takeshita really were fighting.
Yeah, no, Takeshita tried to kill Omega.
Yeah.
Twice.
And yet.
And I said.
As long as it starts with Josh and ends with Alexander.
Yeah, because, I've given only 5-star matches to Josh Alexander this year.
It's because he wasn't wrestling most of the fucking year.
Right.
He was injured.
He's the king of the 4-star match. This is the first Josh Alexander match I've given him 5 stars. And you guys are like, oh, you're a fucking mark.
You are a fucking mark.
I am a mark. But that's not why I gave it 5 stars. I mean, Sleazy's an Asian mark. That's why I gave everything 5 stars.
In fact, I gave
Ryan likes wrestling, so I guess
he's a Danielson mark.
I want to point out. No. I need to point out.
And by the way, my match of the year isn't this. So there you go.
Okay, whatever. we won't know that until
later. I currently have a tie for my match of the year.
You will know it by the end of the year because this is not my match of the year.
The match I rated the least on this card featured a Filipina.
It's because she's trans, that's why.
Wow.
What the fuck?
Calm the fuck down, Nyla Rose. What the hell?
Not now whoa, okay. I thought you were going to call me Rick Steiner there for a minute, but okay.
I think Rick Steiner would have worked better, honestly. Yeah. I would have preferred the Rick Steiner rub.
Overall thoughts on the show? Good show.
Good show.
Not the best Impact show this year, but
it furthered along the storylines.
It did what it had to do.
It did what it had to do, yeah.
It did what it had to do.
I have the results in front of me now of Impact 1000. If I can go through just night 1 if you want, instead of going through night 2.
I would like just night 1 only because I intentionally didn't want to watch or listen to spoilers for night 2.
Right. And I'll just scroll down to this back one. Because technically it says there's only 4 matches that aired on night 1.
I think that's
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was T3D beat the Desi Hit Squad in their return match in 7 years. Frankie Kazarian and Tracy Brooks defeated Eddie Edwards and Alicia Edwards. Mm-hmm. Chris Bay, Crazy Steve, Moose, and some Jack.
iPhone.
Thank you. Defeated Alpha Bravo, Gunjar, Black Taurus, Brian Mars, Heath, Jetta Vidal, Joe Hendry, Johnny Swinger, John Scholar, Jonathan Gresham, Kevin Knight, Kushida, Laredo Kid, PCO, Sammy Callahan, and Steve Macklin in a 20-man Feast or Fired match.
Love they brought back Feast or Fired.
It's my second favorite ladder match. It's Feast or Fired.
Love Feast or Fight.
Whoa. Wait a second. Was Christopher Daniels in it?
No, he was too busy
Japanese,
losing on ROH TV.
The Japanese guy's losing, I think, is whatever the fuck they call it when he comes over. Excursion.
Oh.
Yeah, his excursion. I think his excursion is done, so he's going back.
Oh, okay.
So I think
that
he's
makes
getting the Feast of Fire. Unless Moose just resigned, I can't see it being him.
It's not him.
Chris Bay is pretty much in a popular tag team. I see them getting the tag title shot. And Crazy Steve's probably going to get the X Division. Moose, like, you know what I mean? Moose gets the world title or fired. And I think it's the Uru fella.
I actually think Moose is getting the tag titles. I don't know why. Do not know why. Just
right. Yeah, with the most professional wrestling gods.
And I think Bay's getting the world title shot. I don't know. I do not know why. Just, yeah.
See, the problem is the last match of the night, Chris Sabin beats Leo Rush for the X Division Championship. With option C coming, if Chris Sabin doesn't get a chance to cash in, whoever
the winner of the briefcase.
Yeah.
That's why I think it. Well, no. I mean, Bay. See, this is what I love about it. Just like with Money in the Bank, there's multiple options, especially in this
specifically this scenario.
Know. Yeah. So it's fun. It's fun to talk about.
Which is why we're not talking about it anymore.
I mean, I got news and rumors right here.
We're not going to talk about the 25-minute promo parade that opened?
We don't watch, dude. You don't watch Raw. What are you talking about?
No, this happened on Impact.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You don't watch Raw. What are you talking about?
We don't talk about Bruno.
Right? You tell you become a new dad.
Oh, fuck, dude. I've dropped so many dad things I sing now on this podcast alone.
Let's do news and rumors, man. Let's
After the break?
We have a break?
We don't do breaks on this show anymore.
No, we don't talk about breaks either. Okay.
We don't talk about breaks.
The PWI top 5,500.
And Naito still didn't make it with the top 5,000.
Right. I got the top 10 here.
Before you read the top 10,
yep.
In our chat, I said I would have swapped 1 and 2. I read an article where Buddy said the reason why 1 was 1 and 2 was 2, and I mean, that makes perfect sense.
Okay. Rollins 1, Reigns 2, Moxley 3, Vata 4, Vikingo 5, MJF 6, Okada 7, Orange Cassidy 8, King of the 4-star match, Alex Alexander 9, and Cody 10.
Josh Alexander missed 3 months of action and still was ranked 9th.
Who's the mark now?
PWI, that outright says this is
a mark list.
Oh, yeah. We've had this discussion every year it comes out.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Why isn't so-and-so list? Why isn't so-and-so up higher? Why isn't so-and-so on the list?
Because there's
it's a
different
mark
type
list.
There's a different type of mark list. This list is exactly how wrestling lists should be done. Personally, because of the criteria that they actually give it. The reason Seth Rollins went number 1 over Reigns and number 2 is regardless of the, and I'm a big advocate of that's 2 fucking world titles he held for the entire calendar voting year. Rollins won himself a world title, had I think one U.S. title reign, and his quality of world title defenses were on par, if not better than Reigns in some aspects, and there was more in that last little window of quality defenses.
Yeah, because it goes September to September.
June. Well, July to June.
Or yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It doesn't go like calendar year.
Yeah.
Ospreay 17, and everybody has a fucking aneurysm. Who did Ospreay beat?
Who did he ever beat? I was just going to mention him. Vikingo 5, put Ospreay there.
No,
I swap.
Great year.
I swap MJF and Moxley. And that's really it.
Moxley again for the Roman Reigns syndrome and how they explained it. Moxley should be higher. He was wrestling top tier talent, wrestling every week. Like
Okay, cool.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just how, like, I get you don't like that idea, the doing it, how they, me wanting to incorporate, like, the voting system when we do ours, but it's just, these are the things you got to look at, like, match quality stuff. And it's hard to do that for a list of 500 people.
That is true.
It is, yeah.
The women's, I don't know, is the women's in your news and rumors?
No, I didn't even know it came out.
Not that it came out. They've upgraded. They don't do 150 no more. It's the top 250.
250, yeah.
Oh, okay.
That'll show you how much that's evolved, because they had that when they first started that, it was the PWI top 50 women, and now they've evolved to open it up to 250.
And to touch a
So
little.
What happens when the girls don't be rats no more?
I can't not say that. I mean, do you know how many fucking times that's pissed me off over the years?
What, did the girls stop being rats?
Also, yes. But no, just the fact that they have that type of reputation.
Some of them still do.
Some of them still do, yes. But for the most part, a lot of them are not like that. And it sucks because a lot of people kind of
deserve good blowjobs. Stop pausing. It's like you pause for the watch hand, you pause for me to say something derogatory. That's not my fault. That's on you. Learn to cut a better promo.
I'm trying to look up stats here, okay? Vikingo has held the title, the AAA Mega title, the entire year of this. That's why he's at 5th. It really is. And once again, the quality of the matches down there, including against Omega. So.
Again, and that goes to that. Some people don't like that style, but Vakino has that flippy dippy is the easiest way to call it, but they're entertaining.
That's why GCW books them all the time.
Yeah.
Where do I want to go next? Matt Riddle says he was sexually assaulted at an airport by security.
Probably was.
Apparently, he was belligerent on a flight. They took him off, but he apologized. And then he said he was sexually assaulted by security. I don't know. What the fuck?
He deleted it after the fact.
What are you feeling in your pocket? That's my dick.
Is that banana in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
Potassium.
Gable Steveson update. Apparently he's not training for the Olympics? Question mark. Apparently, according to
Fuck Dave Meltzer,
that they want to fast track him to the main roster. He's not ready. I mean, he's.
Oh God, no.
They think he's. They, according to Meltzer, thinks that WWE thinks that
Meltzer could have pronouns they. You don't know
that.
Pronouns, pal.
They see him being the next. They're concerned that he's not picking up like Lesnar or Angle did.
Like, okay.
Some people aren't freaks of nature.
So here's the thing.
Right?
Yeah, I don't think WWE has that concern. I think Meltzer's just making shit up.
Yes. 100% yes. Because this isn't the first, amateur wrestler they pulled on staff. Hello, Chad Gable, Jason Jordan, Otis even.
Otis.
There's a lot of them on the roster that were former amateur guys that, sometimes needed a few extra years of seasoning. So be it. Just because you signed Gable like he was like the next big thing, like you literally made it that too. And now you've got some unreasonable expectations of him, Meltzer. It doesn't matter. He needs to learn how to wrestle. What's the problem here?
Yeah, give him time. He's still young. He'll get it.
I also, I think that, he's been replaced, and this is hearsay from Dietz, because Dietz kind of shine a light on this. I wasn't sure of this. I thought he was training for the Olympics at one point.
If he would have been training for the Olympics, they would already have the Olympic trials by now. There's no way within a year. There may be, but I'm thinking the Olympic trials is like sometime this year.
He said in an interview in June that he was planning on training still.
I don't know. Apparently, he's going back to. He was on WWE NXT Live house shows this past weekend.
Then I don't know what they're doing with him. Whatever.
Maybe he was hurt and no one said something, and he's just trying to get the. He just needs.
He needs practice. He needs matches in front of people.
Yes,
and not 30-second shit fests with Baron Corbin on pay-per-view.
True story, bro.
That's a friend of mine.
Multiple employees from WWE got cut due to them, the merger finally being completed. This is expected. Like when two big companies merge that do nearly the same thing, there's going to be cuts. I don't know why there's surprises by that. I do want to discuss the merger, though.
Hold on. I do apologize.
Oh, go ahead.
The Olympic trials for wrestling isn't until April.
Oh, I thought it was like...
Wow, that's late.
But
well, not really, because you're training so long anyways.
He still needs to... Go ahead, finish. I'm sorry.
But at that point, you're so close to the Olympics, it would make sense that the trials are closer to the Olympics. Because can you imagine qualifying for the Olympics like a year or two out and then getting injured?
Yeah, but we're talking 2 months.
2 months is, okay, you won.
3.
Is it 3?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's July. I can't count. Shocker.
You outsourced that.
Man, listen, if there had to be count the yens, you would have had it.
Right.
But he's going to have to get into wrestling shape, not ring shape, but actual wrestling shape to do this.
Yeah, but who says he's not in that now anyways? Maybe that's why he looked so awkward in that match with Corbin.
Maybe. It's possible. But anyway, let's discuss the merger. What do you see happening with WWE? Is there going to be any differences,
Dana White can claim all he wants that there's no crossover coming between WWE and UFC, and it's a fucking lie. Because the reason why UFC got better is because they took aspects from WWE. How they promote matches and promos and all that kind of stuff. So you're going to see more, I feel like you're going to see more UFC guys that are fans of WWE and fans of wrestling crossover in some kind of capability. They are going to get some of these guys into the ring for 1 or 2 spot offs and shit like that. But I figured you're going to see more UFC guys appear in WWE. Not a lot in the beginning, but you are going to see people, Daniel Cormier, whether he's retired or not, Conor McGregor, these guys that are wrestling fans and can talk, you're going to see them come over. I feel.
If it only comes down to one person coming over from UFC, which is
Conor McGregor.
I don't see anybody having the star power that would make as huge of an impact. You'll probably see UFC guys come over. Not to say that they won't, but nobody's going to be a bigger get, I guess, than Conor coming over.
I was listening to Sirius XM Radio. I'm not going to plug whatever shows. I don't remember what it was anyway. But they were talking about the merger, and they were talking about how Dana White, or somebody said that, asked Dana White a question about crossover and about how this person thinks that he's like a president of UFC or something. Somebody from UFC said, we want every WWE fan to be a UFC fan, we want every UFC fan to be a WWE fan. And Dana White pretty much put him on blast and said, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. The more I thought about it, the more I'm like, more WWE fans are going to transition to like UFC than UFC fans are going to transition like WWE. Because UFC fans are all like, we're real. We're not fake.
There's more people that watches WWE than UFC.
Yep.
If anything, they're going to make more UFC fans into WWE fans because, You talk about the name draw. Conor McGregor being the only really main draw. Conor McGregor transcends UFC. He's mainstream.
Yep.
Big names in UFC that also, like, I bet you if Dietz was on here, he'd riddle off 5 popular UFC fighters right now because he stays up.
Yep.
He's like, UFC is going to benefit from that crossover, and UFC fans, if I'm picking one side or the other, UFC fans are going to become WWE fans if they take the UFC fighters and do the cross promotion. That's how you're going to get new WWE fans from the UFC fans.
Oh, absolutely. And I do see them running the same towns on
Las Vegas.
weekends. Well, not just Vegas. You could do SmackDown and then do a WWE paper premium live event the next night.
Can't.
Why can't you?
Because UFC usually runs Saturdays.
Okay. Well, if they're going to be in this, if they're going to be in the same building, then that's I would say you're not going to tear down the ring to put up a UFC thing to tear it back down.
But but that's the thing. The UFC pay-per-view usually starts before the WWE pay-per-view is over.
That is true. So you can run SmackDown Friday, say UFC Saturday, and WWE Sunday. Bundle tickets together. And
I would hate that.
I would hate it too. But
I would love that.
It's a good business. Good business.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It is.
I can also see. I did read this that they do. UFC's been starting to have cities bid on their events. WWE's been doing it for WrestleMania, but now I heard that possibly any premium live event, any city can bid on it, and that's around the world, not just America. Because I know there's also a rumor. Here we go. That Perth in Australia is going to have a show early next year before WrestleMania. It's a stadium show. The stadium hosts 60,000 fans.
Rhea Ripley alone, and that's the show Rhea Ripley main events.
Oh yeah, but is that true? Don't know. Obviously, this is news and rumors. So
news and or rumors.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
definitely.
But
I do think
we got to check our sources as journalists.
My source is your face. So I have to get in once a show.
You already got it in once with your fucking. Oh yeah, no, never mind.
I did not.
Apologize. That's why I stopped. I apologize.
But yes, it sucks. A ton of people are getting laid off. But what is their stock? What is TKO's stock price right now?
I mean, didn't it close at like $120 or something per share? When it's something ridiculous.
Let me see here. TKO Group Holdings. It closed after hours at $100.73.
Jesus.
It obviously the merger pre-merger it was $66 and then it shot up. Here's the thing, and let me throw this out there. From the merger standpoint, I want to touch on the cross promotion here. I think the biggest problem that you're going to have out of all of this is that you're trying to combine two very different companies. Like, as much as you want to say that UFC and WWE are similar, they're very, very different companies. They're very, very different philosophical differences on how they run, how they promote. Yeah, they borrow a bit from each other. I don't see them becoming anything more than this is TKO Holdings presents UFC and TKO Holdings presents WWE. And that's pretty much it. I don't see anything else that's going to be a major crossover like multi-promotional events like that. Because at the end of the day, if you're there to see wrestling, you're there to see wrestling. If you're there to see UFC, you're there to see UFC. I don't think it's that much unless you do literally during WrestleMania week you have a UFC match or something like that. Where it's
just gonna
like
say
one time only or like 4 times a year when they do the thing.
Rumble, yep, Mania, Money in the Bank.
Can you imagine a 30-man UFC Rumble?
Funny you should mention that because I saw many years ago, they do like 5-on-5 MMA matches where once one person gets submitted or pinned or whatever, that guy goes out and then becomes 5-on-4, and then they start beating each other up and taking the advantage. It's really fun to watch.
It's fun to watch people get the shit kicked out of you.
It is. It's really fun to
While
watch.
we watch professional wrestling.
Right? Yeah.
So-
Who the fuck watches wrestling?
Deez is a UFC fan. Chip's a UFC fan. I am not.
I am very much not.
I used to be a big time fan. We used to do beer pongs and stuff like that. And like I said, behind me when I used to have cameras at work while we do podcasts, you'd see like our old beer pong belts.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. I get that it's real. I get that it's fighting and stuff, but like it's not very entertaining. Like I like brawls. I like bombs, throwing punches, that kind of stuff. If you're doing the grappling on the floor, I get the point and helping out, but grappling fights are just boring to me in that situation, right? So that's why I like WWE more. There's more show, there's more pomp, there's more circumstance.
Yeah.
No, obviously, I get it. Okay, moving on.
Do we want to talk about the execs that left? Because I know you kind of...
I didn't write them down. But...
I have them.
Okay, go ahead.
I have the big ones.
Okay.
So, Jamie Horowitz, who's the executive vice president of development and digital.
Barry's uncle, Jamie Horowitz.
Right? That was kind of surprising because he was brought to WWE by Nick Khan. But he had some skeletons in the closet anyway. Catherine Newman, who was the...
We all have skeletons in our closet, let's be real.
Yeah.
I have golf clubs in mine.
Yeah, the skeletons play with them.
You got a 3-putt in. EVP and head of marketing, Catherine Newman, who was just hired last year. That was not really all that much of a surprise. Amanda Bloom, this one was actually pretty surprising, and she'll probably land a huge, Google deal because she was the director, enterprise master of data and governance. And what that means is that she was in charge of all the analytics based off of social media and getting, crafting how data works for the company. So all the stats we talk about, from Gates and, social media impressions, all that stuff. She was in charge of that and was designing foundational data models for WWE. So that's kind of surprising that they let her go. The only other one that was a big one that I was really shocked, Dana Warrior.
I'm not as shocked as probably you were by that. I mean, I was surprised, not shocked. How about that?
Me either.
I was like,
wasn't shocked that she went.
Yeah. I'm just like, oh, she got released? Okay. I mean, that's a little weird, but okay.
I think it's weird. Here's my point, is that it's very easy just to leave her in the community outreach area and just let her do the Warrior thing. She was doing creative work too, but she didn't need to be in there. That the community outreach was her baby anyway. Mm-hmm. So just leave her doing that. I was surprised that they let her go over this merger. I mean, separately maybe. Okay, cool. But specifically because of this merger, wow, that was interesting. But yeah, those are the main ones.
Okay. I know Ryan wanted to talk about this. All in attendance. I don't think it's a big deal. Ryan, go ahead with it.
I think it's fucking funny. First off, Osprey's tattoo is fucking hilarious. Dumbass. Secondly, and I'm a fan of wrestling. AEW, WWE, Impact. I like watching a lot of wrestling, different ones. GCW, fucking Chikara. Just because I love getting a Chikara reference on every podcast we do.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
For the most part, they ran their mouth so much about this. And they ran their mouth, and they ran their mouth, and they ran their mouth. And then watching them change, and that's what kills me about this. Watching AEW backpedal on so many different things they said about this fucking attendance, while trying to be so fucking snooty and hoity-toity and high-top and high-pressed about it, was fucking ridiculous. The show was great. to run their mouth so much about the paid attendance. Biggest wrestling show ever. Biggest wrestling show attendance ever. Biggest wrestling show real attendance ever. Biggest paid attendance ever. And then all of those numbers be like, well, this is what we sold. Yeah, we're the best. Well, boys, this is how many people were there. Oh, well, 10,000 people just didn't show up to the thing. Talk about tribalism all you fucking want. That was the height of tribalism. I'm not mad that AEW had 70,000 people there. I'm more... My disdain for AEW grew when they were like 80,000, 80,000, 80,000. Oh, it's 70,000. Oh, okay, we just had 10,000 people not show up. Fuck off, boss. Promote that you had a great show. Don't try to be an idiot about it, because when you just tried to be an idiot about it, you got made look like fucking fools. That's my issue with it. You had a great show, and you ruined every bit of hype that you had with it by being fucking idiots about it.
Apparently the turnstile was 72,265. The paid was like 81,035. Again, you guys shit on me for being a mark for WWE and Impact, and how much I quote hated.
What do you mean, you guys? I am an Impact and WWE mark. I don't shit on you for that. I shit on you for your AEW bias. If I shit on you for anything,
I think it's great for a company that's been around for 4 years to sell 70,000 tickets in the stadium. It's good for wrestling.
Boss, Cody and the Bucks could have did that after their 10,000 all in. They went to a mark country that barely gets big name wrestling. Impact was selling fucking crazy when they did their UK tours. Impact, and this was before Impact got really, really good. They were going every year because they were making tons of money and getting fucking huge crowds. It's where they went. They still get big crowds in Chicago. Mark fucking town. WWE goes back to Chicago once a year. It's going to be a packed show. And you talk about flooding the market. Chicago, England, those big mark towns, you're never going to run dry in those towns. That's why AEW only goes to 6 towns a year. Because you're not going to run dry in those places. You're still going to get a loud, rauncous crowd no matter how many people are there.
I do want to talk about Grand Slam when we're talking about attendance. 2021, they sold 20,000 tickets. 2022, they sold 13,000. This year, they only sell 6,300. This is kind of what I was worried about with them going back to Wembley every year. The nostalgia wears off after the first couple. So, and that was kind of my case. Not that I'm saying that, oh, look, their attendance is going down. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just trying to say the nostalgia of going to a unique venue like Arthur Ashe Stadium is just, now they're doing it every year. It's just like, okay, it's just another show. Yeah, I saw they had their lowest attendance ever. Dude, how many times would WWE have their lowest attendance and we say this is a television business? It is. They're going to be and again, they may be going to Max, which is also in my news and rumors. Yes, live events matter, but they're only doing 1 or 2 shows a week. So I don't, maybe there's a problem. I don't see that there's a problem. As long as Warner Brothers Discovery is happy with their ratings, and they're obviously going to get a huge bump in their yearly rights deal. So I would say in 2 years, if their attendance doesn't get better, then it might be time to worry. Sleazy, you've been awfully quiet.
Okay, let's start with the attendance thing. So it was 71,000-ish that were at the turnstile, right?
72.
72. That makes it even better.
Yeah.
The announced attendance was 82,000. I did it with 71,000.
Okay.
That means if they're 86.5% of people who bought tickets in theory actually showed up for the event. Currently, and this is not just wrestling, this is every concert around the world. The average show up rate right now is about 85%. So if you take those numbers, that's right in the wheelhouse. So let's start with that. And this is according to New York Times. And this was as of 2022. I feel like that there's a lot of push on the fact that it was only 71,000. Like, fuck, if they brought 40,000 in, it would have been one of their biggest shows ever.
I said if they drew 50,000, that's a huge success.
I'm sick and tired of every and Ryan can sympathize with this because he's on Reddit as much as I am.
Yeah.
There's always this sense of they didn't do the best possible thing, so therefore they're dying. And that's a business mindset that's happened a lot in not just in wrestling, but in business as a whole. You're only good as your last quarterly meeting and your quarterly numbers, your last quarterly, stock price. It's ridiculous. So,
Well, I'm sorry because I'm just scrolling through Reddit looking for was there anything good from SC Jerk, and it's not even the Reddit comment. It is the tweet that the picture is of. The Rock's return to WWE SmackDown did better than the person anticipated. They did 834,000 viewers in the 18 to 49 demo alone, number one broadcast for television. To put that into context, that's nearly as many viewers as AEW gets overall, and that's just the demo. Just the demo, The Rock had 834,000. That's everybody that watches AEW and Dynamite entirely.
Fed dead, man.
By the way,
Red Dead, yeah. Fuck.
Last week, NXT beat AEW in the ratings.
But we don't talk about Bruno.
Well done. Nice comment. I like that comment. Here, 4-year-old company.
Yep.
Headed by a money mark that may or may not allegedly do some extracurricular activities on the side.
Cocaine. You can say it. That's one of the words we're allowed to say is cocaine.
But I choose not to.
Nose beers. Colombian.
Oh, is that the white right here in my beard? Okay, never mind.
Coke is expensive. It shouldn't be in your beard like that.
Yeah, right?
Saving it for later.
Still.
When I'm at work, need it.
2 weeks from now, Fat Man's going to get online. So I got fired for what I said 2 weeks ago about being high on cocaine while at work.
That's okay.
No, I think the problem is that there's, and I'm going to say this, and people are immediately going to shit on it because it's like, oh, well, number two is number two forever because it's not about the numbers type of thing. But it really isn't about the numbers because it's at the end of the day, they're doing their own thing, man. I'm sick of the constant comparing of each other right now because they're two very different businesses. Yeah.
And I have been trying to open my mind up a little bit more with AEW because it is an indie. It's an indie promotion that has a weekly TV show. And I got to open my mind up more about that.
They are super indie. And it's not a knock against AEW.
No, it's not.
I like it, but they are super indie. I wouldn't call them just an indie.
They are, if you want to be very, very technical, they are the top indie company in the world because they're owned by one, family. They're a private company.
Yeah.
TKO is a public company. They're at $100 a share, no less, But I think that I believe that you have to separate them completely at this point because they're two very different entities now. And even beforehand, they were still two very different entities. We would talk about the Wednesday night brouhaha or whatever the fuck we were calling
Wednesday night slap fight.
Yeah, this Wednesday night slap fight. The reality of it is that it didn't matter because at the end of the day, who cared? There are two companies that were being successful on the same night.
Only people who want the Attitude Era back cared.
Yeah, which is unfortunately a lot of people.
And looking back, going through the WWE Network, the Attitude Era was kind of shit.
It's mostly shit.
It had great TV, but not very great wrestling.
Yeah.
But it is a TV show, so you gotta have great TV. Moving on, Jade Cargill is reportedly finishing up with AEW, going to WWE. I don't know about that.
PWI Insider has reported that WWE responded to PWI Insider and Jade Cargill may be at the WWE Performance Center within the next 2 years. Reddit post.
2 years.
In the next few years.
Reddit. Fucking gold, man. I'm telling you.
God damn, man. God damn. I heard his. The rumor was as early as next week she's showing up, and I'm like, what the fuck?
That would actually be really fucking cool in terms of the flip side of it. AEW's done that to WWE a bit. WWE has not done that to AEW yet. Because the Cody thing was...
Everyone kind of knew it, but...
Yeah, it was one of the worst kept secrets.
Yeah.
But like Jade Cargill going to WWE now, if she went next week and showed up, it would be shocking. If that takes within the next 2 years, it's not going to be shocking.
Yeah, Jay
Right.
shows up with the urn of Scott Hall and Kevin Nash in a wheelchair.
Wow. Or at least Shaq could come back.
Hey.
I did mention earlier, AEW maybe going to Max. Not like as in like, oh, they're going to have their backlog on Max. They're going to be airing live on Max and running 12 pay-per-views a year. They're starting to push the 12 pay-per-views a year a little bit more with Wrestle Dream coming out in a couple weeks.
They need to. That's their next step.
Yeah, more revenues for them. I mean, why not? It costs the same to run TV than it does a pay-per-view. So why not add one more TV show to your schedule and make more money off it? I don't.
Yeah.
Because you can't do what they do with, we tape or we film Dynamite and then we'll tape Rampage. And we'll film Collision and we'll tape Ring of Honor. It's not like they be like, let's do a pay-per-view and then let's tape a pay-per-view for next month.
No, I'm just saying to add a pay-per-view on. You're good. Even with the cost of adding one more televised show, they're still going to be making more money than they would for their weeklies anyway. So
I think they should go the route of Impact.
Do the Impact Plus specials and shit?
Man, the Impact gets so many shows out on YouTube that you would think are pay-per-view. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
the Impact puts out a lot of shows. When you just look at just...
I mean, yeah, but to be fair, they're kind of already doing that. They're just calling them different things. Fighter Fest, Fight for the Fallen.
Those
Grand
are all
Slam.
episodes
Grand
of
Slam.
Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
So,
they're Dynamite
Impact-
now, but they're also the Battle of the Belts. You know,
Yeah, but you can't use Fighter Fest or Grand Slam because they're Impact or because they are episodes of Dynamite. They are
Why not, though?
episodes of Rampage.
why not?
If when I compare them to Impact, Victory
I-
Road.
I think what Sleazy's saying is, why can't you turn those into pay-per-view events?
Yeah.
Just name them Fighter Fest,
Yeah,
and there's your pay-per-view for July. You know what I mean? I think that's what he's trying to get at.
Yeah.
Okay.
that's all.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you should be specifically calling them episodes of Dynamite. No, they should be their own standalone events, but call them that.
Yeah.
Make them more special.
Like Battle of the Belts could have been a pay-per-view for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One a year, every championship defended.
Yeah, it'll be like they're not the champions. Royal Rumble Saturday the 27th from Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida.
Not going.
Wasn't that where the Thunderdome was?
For a little bit, yeah.
Oh, give me Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens 4.
I think that was at Tropicana Field.
It was, yeah. That was Reigns Owens 2.
Yep. One more thing. Amazon and Disney are apparently the leading contenders to gain the SmackDown rights.
So that's kind of weird.
So and apparently WWE's asking too much for Fox, but
They are asking too much for Fox in terms of what Fox is willing to pay for programming for their upside guarantee. Any other TV station would pay half of what they want, what WWE wants out of Fox, because they, in all intents and purposes, they tricked Fox. They got this huge money deal out of it. Right away, Fox is like, well, this sucks for us, but we got to go through the contract. SmackDown is, and it's not like it's bad, because SmackDown numbers are fucking great when you look at the business side of things in terms of your viewership and all that kind of stuff. It's just Fox overpaid for something that they didn't need to pay as much for. Now WWE is like, well, you did it once, let's do it again. And Fox is like, nay. But then when people like Disney and Amazon are fighting for it, how much you want to bet Fox takes a second look at that and goes, well, maybe it's not as high as what I think it is.
Well, apparently the rumor number is $300 million a year, and I think it's $250 now.
It's still 2.5 times what Fox paid for it originally, because it was $1 billion a year for 10 years.
Was it 10 years?
I thought it was 10 years.
It's not $1 billion a year.
It was
$1
$5
billion
years for all of it.
It was 5 years, I think, for $1 billion. So what's that?
If that's the case, then it's still, well, it's less than that. Then it's $200 million a year.
Yeah, 200. So they're asking for $100 million more a year,
which is 50% more. Which is
50% more. It is a lot, but if they're the number one rating show on weeklies during a writer's, who knows how long it's going to last, with a writer's strike
on a Friday night
with cheap. By the way, it's still cheaper to produce a live wrestling show than it is to produce a taped television show. Still, it's worth it. So, but the thing about with Amazon is, does WWE want to be like, hey, we're moving to a cable streaming service?
Which is why they'll choose Disney over Amazon.
And they will not go to Disney Plus.
They'll go to ABC.
I would say they would not go to ESPN. They will 100% go to ABC.
Yeah.
And they probably want to move it to Thursday night.
Yeah, they would.
Try to compete with Thursday Night Football, which is on Amazon.
Right. Well, here's the thing, though. I will say this. Amazon's not a bad option, because Amazon's really trying to put their foot into Amazon Prime Video. And what a better way to put your foot into Amazon Prime Video than to bring a flagship show that does so much in terms of ratings onto a streaming platform that's kind of the bastard stepchild of streaming programs. Most people have Amazon Prime Video and don't use it.
Because it comes with Prime.
Yeah, it comes with Prime.
And literally, I've watched the documentary Baseball on Amazon Prime. Literally, the last time I turned on Amazon Prime before that was to watch the documentary Baseball on Amazon Prime. Like 2 years ago. There's nothing. Yeah. Well, I didn't even watch the Thursday Night Football game this week.
But it sounds all of that. SmackDown got to go to ESPN.
No, they're not going to go. They'll go to ABC. They'll keep it on network.
They might show a replay.
Go to ESPN.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do a replay on ESPN.
I won't be surprised to say Thursday nights they have college football. Move it to ABC. Or, no, not Thursday nights. Never mind. That's stupid. But if they move it to Thursday nights, they'll be competing with themselves for college football during the football season. Because ESPN hosts Thursday night football games.
That's a good point. So we have somebody in the chat talking about cables dying. Look at what happened between Charter and Disney. That's actually a good point. And that's something that I think NBC is going to start looking at more too, because at the end of the day, they have, obviously WWE Network's on Peacock, but you still also have it on USA still?
Raw's on USA.
Oh, God. How long have they been on USA now?
Every year, except for like 3 years. We only run Spike
for
or whatever
20
it
years,
was.
though?
Yeah.
Nearly 30 years?
Um,
Getting close to 30 years now.
30 years
Peacock.
outside of that 5-year window. That they were
Peacock. They're starting to show college football games. And I'm not saying college football games that are airing on NBC. They're airing exclusive college football games.
Right.
That's where, yeah, because the NFL went to Prime last year. They got to do, and this is totally off topic, they got to do a better job putting primetime games on that. Because the games last year fucking sucked. Even the commentators are like, pass, caught, touchdown.
Wasn't there a game that somebody lost 91-0 on?
That was college football.
Yeah, but I need that in my life more.
That was.
Why can't we have more?
Portland
Well, the Cowboys did it to the Giants, I think.
40-0. That was last Sunday.
Yeah, it was last Sunday, where it was like they had like something that they had like terrible things happen to them that normally it's only ever happened to somebody in an entire season. They did it all in one game. Like they had a pick six, they lost 40-0. They had a field goal picked off and a bunch of other stuff. It was like, wow.
Yeah. But
The
anyway,
night before 9/11. Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Back to wrestling. Prime is interesting. I don't think Prime will work, though. I just, like you said, they're going to pay probably, it's got to be more than $1 billion because that's what they got from the last go around. Mm-hmm. And we're only talking about SmackDown rights. I think we're all staying with USA.
I'm surprised that the top people that aren't in this bidding war isn't NBC. Because one of the biggest problems that NBC and Fox had was the fact that the talent was split up.
Yeah.
You know, nobody was getting Roman Reigns like it was a bad custody battle or some shit. You know?
Because it was.
To be honest, the perfect place for SmackDown to go if it's going to go on the streaming service is Peacock.
Yeah.
So
have it on NBC or whatever, the NBC Plus thing. Not Peacock specifically. There was some other like semi-live channel that floats around on like Philo and other shit.
Oh, I don't know.
There's a bunch of different places it could land that NBC has rights to, you know, or Universal technically.
I went through my guide.
Yeah,
and
FUBU.
CNBC was having college football games.
Yeah.
CNBC. I don't think it was going to go to there. I still think they want Fox on network. And it's going to be Fox, ABC, or NBC.
Well, here's the thing. It's not WWE's call.
Well, not WWE's call.
Yeah.
It's
whoever
TKO's
buys it.
call.
Well, it doesn't matter. If TKO signs the rights to NBC Universal and NBC Universal says, okay, we'll take it. And then they shove it on fucking Sci-Fi again. Fuck you guys. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. They own the rights to the contact.
No, I understand that, but I would say that there'll be some clause in there to say, don't shove us on MSNBC Tuesday nights at 4 a.m.
They're smart.
Yeah, which I think they are.
You hope they are.
Like, you hope they are.
Well, here's the thing, though. If they're willing to pay $3 billion to bury it in the middle of 4 a.m. on Sunday night.
That's their prerogative, yeah. And then bitch and complain about ratings.
Right.
But, yeah.
I don't know. Ryan, put yourself over.
Ryan Buckgotch.
Thank you.
Episode!
Sorry.
Ryan Buckgotch. Reddit and Twitter.
Do you have anything? Oh, you already did your Reddit quote, I guess. Fuck Chip because he's not here. But you can find him.
Man of 1,000 Meths.
Man of 1,000 Meths. At TWS _ Mark with 4 A's on X. I'm at TWS Sleazy.
Do you do this, Fat Man?
We are Sleazyfatman on X, Instagram, Threads, TikTok. You know, the gimmicks. Please go on over there and give us a like. Videos you can find on twitch.tv/Sleazyfatman, youtube.com/Sleazyfatman, premium videos on onlyfans.com/thewrestlingshow. You can find all sorts of content at thewrestlingshow.com, including merch, articles, ton of other cool stuff. You can get this podcast every Saturday morning wherever you get your podcasts, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podbean. I got the thing fixed for some reason, it wasn't going to Spotify for some reason, whatever. It's back on Spotify. No
Yay!
problems there. Don't hesitate to rate us on your favorite platform and click automatic downloads. It really does help us out. So with thanks to Ryan, a fuck you to Chip.
Ryan just left.
I love it. And as always, for Sleazy,
For the Fat Man.
this is The Wrestling Show. Thank you guys so much for listening. Peace.
Fuck Dave Meltzer. Fuck Tony Khan and his alleged, non-alleged coke habit. A hot dog's not a sandwich. A sub is not a sandwich. A burger is a sandwich. There is a rumor going around that the wrestling show may be going to a GCW event.
Oh, my God. GCW.
Maybe.
Who goes to those?
Fucking Marks.
Goddamn Marks.
I'm a truth that you seem to run from. I'm an army of one. I'm a clip in your gun. I'm the pain of the game. The blood shedding your name. When there's nothing to gain.